Hello, my name is Iqbal Juffri, and I'm here to explain about tourism and basic knowledge of tourism. Tourism is travel for pleasure or business, also the theory and practice of touring, the business of attracting, accommodating, and entertaining tourists, and the business of operating tours. The World Tourism Organization defines tourism more generally in terms which go beyond the common perception of tourism as being limited to holiday activity only, as people traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment for not more than one consecutive year for leisure and not less than 24 hours, business, and other purposes. Tourism can be domestic within the traveler's own country or international, and international tourism has both incoming and outgoing implication on countries' balance of payments. Um, Tourism numbers declined as a result of strong economic slowdown, the late 20, the late of 2000s recession between the second half of 2008 and the end of 2009, and in consequence of the outbreak of the 2009 H1N1 influenza virus, but it slowly recovered until the COVID-19 pandemic put an abrupt on the growth. The United Nations World Tourism Organization, or UNWTO, estimated that global international tourist arrivals might decrease by 58% to 78% in 2020, leading to a potential loss of US 0.9 to 1.2 trillion in international tourism receipts. Globally, international tourism receipts, or the travel item imbalance of payments, grew to US 1.03 trillion in 2005, corresponding to an increase in real terms of 3.8% from 2010. International tourist arrival surpassed the milestone of 1 billion tourists globally for the first time in 2012. Emerging rose, Emerging source markets such as China, Russia, and Brazil had significantly increased their spending over the previous decade. Global tourism accounts for 8% of global greenhouse gas emissions, as well as other significant environmental and social impacts that are not always beneficial to local communities and their economies. For this reason, many tourist development organizations are beginning to focus on sustainable tourism in order to mitigate negative effects caused by the growing impact of tourism. The UNWTO emphasized these practices by promoting tourism as part of the Sustainable Development Goals through programs like the International Year for Sustainable Tourism for Development in 2017, and programs like Tourism for SDGs, focusing on how SDGs implicate tourism in creating a sustainable economy. The basic knowledge of tourism is: in 1994, the United Nations identified three forms of tourism in its recommendation on tourism statistics. The first is domestic tourism, involving residents of the given country traveling only within this country. Inbound tourism, involving non-residents traveling in the given country. And outbound tourism, involving residents traveling in another country. And other grouping derived from the above grouping. That's for me. Thanks for your attention. Assalamualaikum.